Hello, my friends. Thanks for joining me for Christmas in July 22. This is an open collaboration and it is hosted by Enchanted Dreams 71 and also by me, Creating with Jovi. Like I mentioned, it's an open collaboration, so join in if you'd like to. We have 4 weeks in July when we will be posting. We'll be posting on each Wednesday of July. What I'm doing here is I'm showing you a kit that I'm working with, and this is a kit that was created by Line Arrow, and I will be making tags from this kit. And actually, all 4 of the videos that I'll be sharing this month will be sharing parts of this kit as well. This will be for my design team project for Line Arrow for the month of July. I want to be sure to mention that I printed the kit out on the back of scrapbook paper. You know, sometimes we get scrapbook paper and it's one-sided and sometimes it's two-sided. Well, I like to use my one-sided scrapbook paper when I'm using kits, and I print it out just like you see here. So that's the kit side. Actually, on these two on these 2 pages, it's the kit on both sides, but in the beginning when I was flipping through them, it was the kit on one side and then scrapbook paper on the other. Another thing that is very, very, very important for me to mention to you, speaking of the kit, is that I printed it out. I chose settings on my printer that would print it out much lighter than the actual kit. So when you look at it online, it will be much more vibrant than what I'm showing you here. I wanted my creations to have sort of a dreamy feel, and so that's why I lightened them up. If you guys don't know how to do that and you're interested in knowing how to do that, let me know, because I am happy to make a video showing you how to adjust the way that your printer will print your kits out. Most of you know, I believe most of you know, that you can adjust the size when you print a kit, but yes, you can also adjust the brightness, the intensity, the contrast, and the tone. So for example, for this kit, I moved the selection down to less warm into a cooler color palette, and then I changed the contrast to make it more sort of light and not hazy, but just lighter. And then I also adjusted the saturation. I adjusted that down just a little bit, like I mentioned, to give it a little bit more of a dreamy feel. This kit has a lot of angels in it, and so that's why I did that. I just kind of wanted a cooler color palette. I wanted the blues to show through. I wanted the pinks to show through. And like I mentioned, I just wanted it to be kind of dreamy. Now let me get back to telling you about the collaboration. As I mentioned, it's open, which means you can join in any of these weeks if you'd like to. We're uploading on each Wednesday of July. The first week is going to be tags, which is what I'm going to work on today. The second week is going to be pockets. The third and fourth week are crafter's choice. So make whatever you want and upload it. Use the hashtag Christmas in July 22, and also link Lori at Enchanted Dreams 71 and myself, Creating with Jovi, in your description box as the hosts of the collaboration. And we will be sure to list you in our description boxes once we see that you've uploaded. Feel free to let either one of us know in the comments section if you plan to join in, and that way we can keep an eye out on your videos. Or if you're pretty spontaneous about it and you upload, we'll be checking the hashtag, of course, but feel free to leave a comment in our comment section even on that same week and just remind us and let us know. We would be so happy and excited to have you join in. As you can see here, I am just doing some prep work on these tags, and I'm just going to cut them all out the same time, do any trimming, and then I'm going to go ahead and ink all of them. And I have decided that I'm going to go ahead and use mostly pink for inking the edges, but on some of them I will also use like a soft seafoam green color. So here's one of my pink ink pads that I'm going to use. I have three pink ink pads, and I have this one, and it's got all these different shades of pink in it. And then I have a little tiny pink one, and then I have like a distress oxide pink one. I haven't used that in a while. It's very, very, very light, and so I don't use it that often. But I probably should find some projects to use it on before it dries out. I think it's one of the very first pink ones that I ever got. Anyway, it's kind of interesting to work with the distress oxide ones, even though I don't think I'm very good at it. They're kind of interesting because literally when you get them wet, they change color. But what I like to do is I like to use them on my coffee dyed paper when my paper's still wet, and then it sort of like the ink changes right then and there, and then it dries, and it's just kind of cool. But anyway, you can see on this one I am using the little tiny ink pads that I have, and I think this is the one that has the seafoam green on it. I wanted to talk about that little pink ink pad, actually the bigger pink ink pad that I have with all the different colors, the different shades of pink. So what I've been doing with it lately is holding it vertically and then starting to ink the edge of my page, but then running down. So I'm starting, like I'm hitting it with the dark ones, and then I go down the page, and then I'm hitting it with the light ones at the end. And I kind of like it because it starts with a real intense pink, and then it ends like the lighter one covers it on the way. So I'm getting like a varying shades of pink around the edges. So I'm kind of playing with that in this particular project and having fun with it, and I really do like it. I wanted to mention that sometimes when I don't have a color ink that I would like to use, I just choose one of my markers and I just go around the edges with my marker. Doing this as a technique is great for being able to use basically any color that you want, but also on something like this that has a unique shape, sometimes you can't get in there with a dauber or an ink pad, so the marker works really great. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm so glad that you are here hanging out with me or crafting along with me, whatever it might be. I truly appreciate you being here and checking out the projects that I'm working on and supporting my channel. It means the world to me, honestly. It means the world to me. So I just wanted to give you a big thank you. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I hope that you will find value here, and I appreciate you taking some time to check it out. I was recently given a book, and it had some really pretty pictures in it. So I disassembled it, and here they are. They're black and white, but they're sort of like old-fashioned. And I want to use these while creating these tags. And what I've decided is to use these large tags. I've got 3 of these large tags, and I'm going to make them pocket tags. So I want to make sure that the image from the book is seen on the back of the tag. So for this first one, I made it more complicated than it had to be. Sometimes that's how it is the first time you do something. You know, like I just try to figure it out, and then as I go on, I say to myself, oh yeah, I made that more difficult than it had to be. I could have just done this. So as you can see, I took the time to mark the page, which was actually fine because I marked it to show myself where I was gonna fold it. I want to explain to you what I did that was more complicated than it had to be. So on this edge here that I just folded, that's going to be the small edge that I end up gluing. I'm going to end up gluing that small edge because it'll create some strength for the tag where the piece that I'm going to stuff inside goes in and out. So it'll be that folded part and it'll be stronger. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. It probably sounded like gibberish. Now this side that I'm trimming, so I'm trimming it so that it fits the tag, that'll be the side that I'm gluing. So that side doesn't necessarily have to be as strong as the side that I'm folding. Hopefully that makes sense. I just about have this to the perfect size. I'm checking it here. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this one folded edge. Alright, I am going to go ahead and glue this edge down. Now the reason I'm gluing it instead of simply cutting it to size is because when this paper is folded over, it's thicker, and so when the tag is going in and out, that creates wear and tear. So the fact that the page is thicker will help it to hold up over time. To simplify things on my other two tags, I simply folded the book page to shape and then glued 3 sides and put it on. So I didn't even have to cut it, and that made it much more simple. Hopefully that makes sense. Now we're going to go ahead and glue this onto the tag. So I'm only gluing 3 edges because that 4th edge is going to be the open pocket. You can see here that I'm gluing the actual tag part because it has this nice sort of dome-shaped top. So what I'm going to do is adhere the book page to the tag, and then once it's somewhat dry, I will go ahead and cut the book page to size. I've decided that I want these tags to have a little bit of personality. So once this is done, I'm going to set it aside to dry, and then I'm going to work on phase 2 of this same tag. What that is going to be is a flip that's going to go on the back of it. For the flip, I'm going to go ahead and use lace as the hinge. So I've chosen some lace. It's not white, it's sort of a light gray, and I just feel like that works with the color palette that we have going on here. And even though most of the lace is covered up, still you're going to see a little bit, you know, in the hinge part. I am using another tag for the flip, but it's a much smaller size. So to create a fabric hinge, what I do is I glue my lace or fabric, whatever it is that you're going to use. You can pretty much use any material that you want. I glue that on to a backing, and then I adhere my tag to it. Press it all down and let it dry. Once it's dry, we will go ahead and cut it out, and then we will trim up the lace.
It's December again, I can't believe it. Whatever happened to the rest of the year?
I finally bought myself a new pair of scissors, and I have to make sure to hide them from Carl and from Amanda so that they don't get used on things that they shouldn't. I want them to remain sharp because I need them for cutting the fabric. I like to tear most of my fabrics, but obviously you can't tear lace. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, I need a good pair of scissors to be able to cut certain fabrics. All right, so as you can see, I cut the lace to size, and now I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my tag. So I was deciding here how I wanted it to flip, and one thing I could have done is I could have attached it in between the tag and the book page, but if I would have done that, then when the pocket part, when something was going in and out of the pocket, the lace might have impeded it from being able to go in all the way. So I'm just going to glue it on the outside. I hope that makes sense. Now I do see that my piece of lace is a little bit large and it is covering more of the image, the book page image, than I want it to. So I'm going to trim it down to be a little bit smaller. I've decided that I want to put a small tag flip on each one of the large tags that I've created. Right here I was trying to decide, was I just going to make an actual tag flip with, like, 3 of them connected to one another. I was thinking about it, but I decided against it. I think I'd rather have them be single and then attach them to the large tags. I have everything ready to go. I just wanted to decide on which small tag I wanted on which big tag. As I'm working on these tags and putting this part of it together, I was kind of thinking about how interactive do I want them to be. Well, first of all, adding a little hinge and a small tag, that definitely levels up how interactive it is. But then I was thinking to myself, well, can I do more? And so I thought, I think I can. So I am going to grab a piece of scrapbook paper. It was given to me by Billy of Craft and Cake with Billy, and it's a piece of paper that has a bunch of tickets on it. So I want to use those and cut them. I'm going to cut the whole sheet and then add some little tickets here and there on these tags. That'll be coming up shortly. So as I'm attaching the small tags to the large tags, I wanted to tell you that when you see this video, I will be on vacation. So Carl and I are taking a road trip. We are hopping in the Jeep and we are just going to go. I haven't decided exactly where yet. I definitely want to go to Crystal River. That's here in Florida. I've wanted to go there for so many years, so I definitely want to stop there. We might decide to make our way to the Panhandle, but I had created a list of different places that I wanted to go in Florida, and I made this list like so many years ago. So I thought that today, the day of my recording this, which by the way is June 6th, so I thought today I would sit down after I'm done editing my video and look at my list of all the places I wanted to go, maybe make a road map of all the places, see if we can find like a place to stay that's nearby, which it's Florida, I'm sure we can, and then, go check out the little towns. So far that's my plan, and maybe we'll make our way up to the Panhandle, because I've never been there actually, and my sister used to live there. She said it's absolutely beautiful. She said the beaches are just amazing. So I definitely want to check that out if we can. Look here, I almost made a mistake on this tag. Look at how I'm starting to press it down, but the top was overhanging that piece of paper, and we can't have that because then it wouldn't line up. So I did catch it. I caught the mistake before I made it, and gluing this down, and then what I'll do is I'll cut that paper to size that's around it. But I am gluing both of those pieces of paper, the tag and then the back side, up to the hinge, aka the piece of lace there. So that's what we decided, was to go ahead and take a road trip. We tossed around the idea of flying somewhere. I thought about maybe a train trip. Sometimes they have the scenic train trips, and we definitely want to do that, but we want to wait a little bit to do that for a variety of reasons. So we just thought, you know, a road trip would be great fun. I will be sure to take lots of pictures, and I might be able to take some video if there's anything spectacular that I want to share with you guys. And you know, so when I get back in town, get caught up on some things, then maybe I can make a video about our trip. So I am starting to embellish the small tag, and what I did here was I used a little decorative piece from the kit. And I actually think I forgot to mention to you the name of the kit. So it's by Line Dot Arrow. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. But the name of the kit is Christmas in July. So I thought that was perfect for the collaboration and for my design team project. Here is the scrapbook paper that I was telling you about. Probably many of you have seen this in the stores for over a few years now. And I just thought I was just going to cut it up and use these tickets. I've really been into tickets lately. I think for the last 3 journals that I've made, I've been playing with tickets more. And I have to admit, I've kind of had fun with it. They make wonderful little like secret tuck spots and secret journal spots and all that. So anyway, and then the other thing I discovered about these tickets is I have the scissors that have a jagged edge, and you know how we have the decorative scissors? Well, I have several pairs. Some of them have a wavy edge, and then this other pair that I have has this jagged edge. And the jagged part matched up perfectly to the ticket edge. You know how that's kind of jagged? So I hope that makes sense of what I'm trying to say to you guys. At any rate, it matched up perfectly. So when I cut them, it just was kind of cool. It worked out. So then I'm rounding the edges off, and then I'm also going to take the time to cut that little center part so it really does look like a ticket. So cute, right? So I am going to tuck those into this little tiny pocket that I made here. Everything is laying nice and flat here, which I like because, you know, as time goes on, as we, you know, build our tags and build our journals and build our pockets, things become more and more bulky. And so I'm trying to keep everything somewhat flat on these tags because they already have so many layers to them. Now I want to go ahead and embellish the other side of the small tag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another small strip of the tickets, and I'm going to add like a slide pocket. Once that dries a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and cut off both of the edges that are hanging over. And then once I'm sure that the glue is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and add one of the smaller tags that came in the kit. And this is a little angel tag, and it's just so sweet. So I'm going to slide that right down in there. All right, my friends, so I did not do all of the work on camera. I wanted to show you what I've got so far. So on the front, it looks like there's not a lot going on except for the gorgeous illustrations, and that is true. But when we flip them over, everything is different. And actually, let me show you one thing on the front. You'll notice each one has a little cut in it, and if you pull that out, there's a card. I decorated both sides because I wanted it to have a little something on it so that when you pulled it out, either from this way or this way, you know, it wouldn't be plain. So I did that on each one of them. So each one has that where we can pull out the tag. And then when we flip over our tags, so let's do that now. All right, I want to show you them one at a time. All right, so this one, obviously this is the back, and it's got a little flip here, but let's start like this. So I put some tickets here, and then you can pull this little tiny tag. And then in the top of this particular one, there are some more tickets. I left them connected so that you can make little notes in them. And then when we open it up, there's another ticket here. 2 tickets in the little tiny pocket. And then we have this book page, and that's how I made the pocket on the back of the tag. Was on each one of these I used a book page, and then I used lace as the hinge. So that's the first one. And then I might do more here, but I want to wait till I get a journal together, because I don't know if I don't want it to be embellished because it has to fit into something in particular, then maybe I want to leave this the way it is. So we'll decide that later. So this is this one. And then there's a little tag here and a little ticket that goes across there. Same lace sort of hinge, and then some tickets here. Excuse the noise in the background. And then another book page just with some embellishments here. And then for this one's a little bit different. We have a little tag here, just embellished with a snowflake. We have our tickets here. And then this little angel, this flips open and you can journal right here. Let me make sure I'm on camera, and you can journal right here. And then this is an image from a book page. So that's what I have so far, my friends.
Bye, friends.
I really enjoyed just focusing on making the tags and sort of trying to just bring them up to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed crafting along with me, hanging out with me, spending some time. As always, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching. See you soon.